Those are two very valid questions. In regards to illegal housing, there is definitely an issue of illegal housing within the city of Glen Cove, and this is not a new issue. This is an issue that has existed for a long period of time. What I would like to do to enforce our illegal housing issues is that currently we have a code enforcement department. They do a very, very efficient job. They do a very, very effective job, and they're great people, and they care about their job as well. But I want to be able to support them a little bit more. So right now we have two full-time code enforcers for 28,000 residents within the city of Glen Cove. For me, that's just not enough, because there are issues that arise with illegal housing issues. What I would like to do is to support them a bit more and potentially hire a couple of more code enforcers so that they can continue to address these code enforcement issues and these illegal housing issues. So that is one of the things I'd like to bring forward, is to increase that department just to give them a bit more support. And in addition to that, continue to work with our director of code enforcement to make sure that any of these issues that are being resolved. Like I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult in our economy to live. You know, you can go to a supermarket with $100, and before you know it, you've bought a couple of gallons of orange juice, a half a gallon of milk, and maybe a pound of honey maple turkey, and you don't have much left over. So the cost of living continues to rise, and affordable housing there is a need for more affordable housing within the city of Glen Cove. What I'd like to do is to go back to the very fundamental level of finding ways to reduce spending within our budget. If you reduce spending, you could actually cut taxes and reduce taxes. As a result, it will create, I believe, more affordable housing, because the landlords of these properties won't raise their rent as much. So as taxes continue to rise, landlords of these properties wind up increasing the rents. So what I'd like to do is to have a committee that will work together to find creative ways to have more affordable housing. And this is going to have to be a team effort in regards to it. I'm a collaborator. I'm a facilitator. And one of the things that I will do with my administration, I'm going to have the best and the brightest minds on my team, and we're going to address all these problems. There are issues of affordable housing in Glen Cove, and there is a need of it. And we're going to come up with a plan, and it's going to be a comprehensive plan that will help people that are at the lower income level.
Has really been an issue, and it impacts the quality of life, and it burdens the infrastructure. It burdens our hospitals, it burdens our schools, it burdens our sanitation. I mean, no one wants to live in a neighborhood when you wake up in the morning and you go outside, there's 20 cars on the street. And then when you see 10 garbage pails in front of a single-family house, you know that something's wrong. So I've completely reorganized the code enforcement department. I actually put them under the direction of the police, because really it's a public safety issue. When you go into a lot of these homes that there's illegal housing, sometimes you'll find that there's drugs, that there's an assortment of issues that are there. So it's good that the police have oversight on this. I brought in a retired policeman to consult on this, and we're really being very proactive, where we set up a phone number that people call in, they don't have to complain, and we follow up on all complaints, okay? I play no favorites. In the past, it was always, people consider things, favorite son status, that who you knew and don't worry about it. That's not the case with me. I make no exceptions. I don't care who you are or what it is. If you've got illegal tenants, you've got to get them out of there. Now, in addition to that, there are other things like zombie housing. Although we don't have a big issue with zombie housing, that's another thing that affects the quality of life. So our code enforcement officers, in addition to responding. We actually go out and we respond to requests. People give us leads. We'll do surveillance, and depending on what it is, we may issue an NOV, or we may issue a summons right there if it's egregious. So, but different things like lawns being cut, and houses that are unsightly, repairs that need to be done. I also initiated a program where I do a neighborhood walk. I took the chief of police and the deputy chief. We walked the neighborhood with a code enforcement. In the summers, we were walking on Sundays. And you just talk to neighbors, and they tell you what's going on in the neighborhood. And you get ideas of really where the hot spots are and what's going on. So we react to that accordingly. Now, to jump over to affordable housing, any project of a certain size has a 10% affordable housing component to it. Additionally, some of these initiatives like the mixed-use development in the city and some of these other projects, I've asked, I've had people come into me that want to do new developments, and I want to target the young adults, the millennials and stuff, and I want them there. So I'm looking for different type of housing, because in today's world, nobody gets married and buys a house with a white picket fence. Young people, they like communal living. So you have to set it up where they can get a studio apartment, and that's why I mentioned transit-oriented development there, where you can walk to work. Because when these young people that are very good, they can work out of their homes. They want a place at the end of the day that they can go to, that they can walk out the door, that they can eat, that they don't have to use their car to go anywhere, and they like the communal aspect of it. So I have a lot of different companies coming in with that want to develop things with studios, one bedroom, more of those type of things. And right now the market in Glen Cove is probably about a one bedroom is probably about between $2,100 and $2,400 a month. I'm looking for them to be, and that's I'm looking for places to come in $1,500, $1,600 a month to really help young people, because in Glen Cove, we have an EMS that's part volunteer. We have a fire department that's volunteer, and they're stocked with young people. So if I don't keep the young people in Glen Cove, then I have that issue to deal with, okay? Our firemen do a tremendous job, but we have to keep restocking that. So not only for our, and these people also, these young kids will spend money in the local economy, and that's why things are moving the way we are. We're doing what we're doing to attract them. We have new restaurants. You never have enough restaurants in the downtown. That keeps people there. So things like keeping the young people there so that your volunteer services can continue. Those are the important things that go into really, among the many reasons that you want to keep your young people in town.